Hello everyone, it's me again, and today is October 10th, 2025, which means that exactly 2 years ago I uploaded my first full game speedrun ever. So yeah, I uploaded the video exactly a year ago where I explained how I got there and what my plans for the future were. And I definitely won't explain how I got there because I already explained this in the previous video. But I will probably explain what happened since then. So last year, when I uploaded the video last year, I was taking a break from V2. I had a 4.3x, and like just a few days after that, I saw a very good keychron offer, a used keychron for only like $75, which was pretty huge for Poland. So I bought it, and it arrived, and I did some meme attempts in V1 and V2 with it, and in V1 I was still unable to PB. Like, this game has some real beef with me. But V2, I did some meme attempts. I ended up getting a 433, which was a good 2x pace to boss. It lost speed into 12. But into boss it was good, but then I hit the boss too early in phase 1 and I just decided to play phase 2 safe so I could secure a PB. So I ended that day with a 433. And I gotta say, October was like super active in the Red Bull community at that day. I mean, at that point. Which, like, so many people were getting 3x's. I don't remember how many exactly, but a lot. Trust me, there were a lot of people getting the 2 3x of their own. And also in other games there was a huge activity boost. Then my break continued into November. In November, this guy called Minichip joined the community. You know, the guy who claimed to have really good times in all of Red Bull games. But no recorded ones. Yeah, surely. This guy is so fake. Except he is not. Except this guy is actually real somehow. And he's really good at Red Bull. We've become pretty good friends since then. But yeah, a few days after Minichip rejoined, I made a return to V2. I wanted to get sub 4, like, not right away. My first goal was to get a 4x. So I started practicing. That practice was actually going so terrible. Like, great fail. That practice was going terribly. Like, super bad. It took weeks to get any semblance of consistency with late game. Like, my goal was to use all the strats that the previous world record had, except for 5 through 8. I used 6 through 9 instead. And that was gonna be like it. Like, 6 through 9 was alright, I gotta say. But I also decided, I think that was Icosadron who told me to do some meme attempts to like see where I was at. I could be wrong, but I think it was Icosadron. So I decided to do this like by the end of 2024. And on my third run of that day, I got a good early game and I hit 6 through 9. And then I messed up 10 a little bit. and I think 14. But it was just like with a perfect box, it could have been 4OX like right away. And I choked was so terribly. Like phase 1, missed carry. I think that was actually it. I only missed carry. Phase 2, I got hit by an enemy and reset out of nerves. And then in phase 3, I missed the boss and it ran away. So I ended up with a 427. I definitely needed more practice. This was my third run of that day, and for the next 75 minutes of this session, I didn't get a single run out of 8. So yeah, I needed more practice of 6 through 9 and 10 through 15. But I decided that like early game wasn't difficult like with these strats like then in Vito. So I decided that after I get one single 6 through 15 that could get OX, then I would just hop into attempts right away. And so it took me a while to get somewhat semi-consistent with late game, but hitting a single 6 through 15 only took 2 days, I think. So then I hopped into attempts, and it like actually I did end up PBing for the first like 2 days. I think after day 3 I had a 424 as my PB. Then I had like a 3-day break because of tests. And in this 3-day break, Lily found a new 6-9 setup that was like 6.5 seconds faster than the previous one. It's called Faker 6-9. And like, I decided to learn it, I decided to implement it. Because this one started from 6 beginning and the previous one started from 6 checkpoint, so if I missed beginning, I would just reset at the checkpoint and do the old one. And I couldn't get very consistent with it like early. When I returned to the game, like days 4 and 5 of my OX rank were like super bad. But then it picked up a little bit. Like at this time, all my tests weren't very difficult, so I ended up actually like being able to stream every day OX attempts, and I ended up slowly but surely getting some PBs. Like I got 419, I think. Then it was 415, 415.533. This was January 2025. And it got me a 2nd place in that game. Right now, I'm 5th with a 315, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, but this would be like... I mean, I'm not actually 5th, because people are so great in being this leaderboard accurate. There are so many runs that are not in this leaderboard. But anyways, I would go further down. Eventually, on day 13, I think, I got an OX-based boss, and I hit carry, and I hit a good phase 2, and I thought it was gonna be it. But I had a slow phase 3, ended up getting a 410.033, just short of my goal. But then, like, that was hard. That was like, that hit me hard. But I didn't give up. I was thinking about giving up, but I didn't. And it took me 5 more days to finally break out of this and get a 408, which was a 402 pace into 14. And a 405 pace into boss. But I ended up getting a 408, which satisfied me, so then I tried to just move on into my sub 4 grind, which simultaneously Lombre was doing a 3-3x grind. I mean, they were getting paces, but they weren't really finishing any rounds. But like my practice, the only difference at that point was me implementing 5 through 8. That was gonna be it. But I couldn't get consistent enough at 5 through 8, like, for the life of me. I mean, my peak consistency was, I think I hit 9 one day at that point. But then it just completely dropped off into 2 or 1. So I decided, like, I also had a bit of a burnout, and playing Red Bull was very low on my priority list at that point. So I decided to take a break from V2 and just, like, I wanted to snag a world record before Lombre put it out of my sight, but I decided that that would just not happen. So I ended up pausing this grind, taking a break, and when I would come back, I would only just grind for sub 4. So I took a break. I took a break from Red Bull as a whole for some time, and then I came back to play some Red Bull for Volume 3, and it was actually super fun. Like, high key, Volume 3 is my favorite Red Bull game at this point. Also, about that time, Minichip's Treehouse was created. I won't get into details of what, like, it's just a friend group that Minichip created. But it's a pretty fun server, you gotta say. Also, in that server, Minichip started creating rank progress channels for, like, every member that asked for one. And yeah, I decided to come back to V2 after taking a little bit of break. Like, actually, I was doing some stuff, like some stuff that I wanted to finish before coming back to V2. But, like, then there was Lombre posted a better way to the boss, and I don't know if it was about that. When was this? Yeah, Lombre got a 354.533. It was a new world record, and then they just stopped. Like, they had some other stuff. Like, I won't get into detail what it was, but they got into some stuff that pushed them out of Red Bull. So that meant that... Oh wow, I'm really tired. That meant the record was 354. So that was... I didn't consider this out of my range. So I decided to also go for world record. So I just kinda started... I started by just, I don't know, like, blowing up the game for 5 minutes, trying out some stuff like this new boss method, more optimized boss. Yeah, I think that was it. And then, like, before I knew it, I just got back into practice. So I made a practice plan a little bit that was based on streaks. And, oh man, I gotta say, that after 3 weeks of practice, I decided to go back into attempts, and I got a 404 on day 1, I think, and day 3 I got a 402. But man, I was struggling. I was struggling hard to hit a single 5 through 9, because also 5 through 8 got upgraded, and it got in into 5 through 9. We just found the extension to 5 through 8, and also I've started implementing first one, which saved 1.5 seconds, because, you know, Lombre was also doing a few of these time saves. So my plan was to get a world record, then I would write a monologue. I want to write a monologue because I won't be explaining everything about the grind in this video. That's for sure not gonna happen. I don't even want to know how long this video is already. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted a world record, and then write the monologue, and then just finish it out with getting the first 3-4x. But I also felt some time pressure on myself, but I just kept going. And man, did school just school was unforgiving at that time. Like back in January, I was actually able to stream every day, and when my sub 4 grind rolled around in April, I was struggling with finding time. I was super struggling. When May rolled around, it was actually terrible. Like, early May was not that bad, but I had an oral test from Polish from the entire year, and a test from maths from the entire year, like in late May, and studying for these two was taking me way long, and by way longer, I mean actually way longer, to the point where I was getting like 5 hours of sleep each day for 2 weeks straight. Like, there was no way you could fit Red Bull into this. It was just not possible. But when I finally, like, this was hard, man. But when I finally got past that, Lombre, like, it was, I don't know, I think going into June, it was like, I got a 4 flat point 167. When was it? 4 flat point 167, right there. It was June 10th. And I really, like, this was taking me so long. Which day of the grind was this? This was day 10 of attempts only. And I was still not even, I still didn't even have a sub 4. Like, this was hitting me hard. I also practiced in between, because this was difficult. Like, my fight lane consistency was getting better and better. Like, I was able to get out of 9 like 2 or 3 times per session, which is a very bad score. It's better than 0, but it's a very bad score. What happened after that is that Lombre also returned into, from Lombre returned to E2, but only for 4x, not for 3x. And Lombre actually ended up getting a 3-4x. Like, the problem is that they forgot to check Task Manager after it, but they actually got a 349.933. I will link it in the description if you want to see it. But, like, I was thinking that any time that was gonna be 3-4x would be just completely out of my range. But this one was just so barely 4x that I thought I could still beat it. So, when, like, almost when vacation rolled around, I got my sub 4, I got my 359, and then I left for vacation. And then when I returned, like, I also practiced more, and I was actually getting more consistent. And then when I would hop into attempts, like everything I would build up in practice would just completely disappear. Like, I would play considerably worse. Not just considerably, I would play like super worse. And I thought it was like, I don't know, it could be because of streaming or like OBS running in the background. But then, like, there was one day when I realized that I forgot to warm up in 10, so I brought it up offset on stream. I started playing it and noticed it was like running like noticeably better, like way better than the tournament edition I was using. But, you know, lagged and gave me 0 framers quite a bit, despite being on a key cron. And that just completely demotivated me. Like, knowing there was a version that somehow ran way better. I even asked B what did she use to, like, make it better, and she wasn't even sure. So I thought that all I had to do was look into the source code of the offset and the tournament edition and see what the differences were. And yeah, it sounds tedious, boring, and difficult, and it was tedious, boring, and difficult. So I tried doing it, but I ended up finding a workaround, which is running the game in Windows XP compatibility mode, somehow it's not as good as like the offset version, but somehow it runs noticeably better in that. But at that point in vacation, it was like late July, and Lombre was planned to go for 3x in August, which they didn't end up doing. World record is still 349.933. But I kind of felt the pressure, and it was the point of vacation where I would just go somewhere, leave somewhere, and go back to my home for like 5 days, and then leave again. And like it would be like that until the school year. So like I couldn't really get good at the game. I only could practice so much, but if I only practiced, and why would that then not doing attempts after that would be just a waste of that practice. I kinda had to do some practice and play under practiced, and I didn't end up getting any PBs, but I ended up getting a very good pace into late game that I uploaded on my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm actually recording this later because I forgot to say this, but this vacation I also met up with XD Xbox Jaja quite a few times, and we did some relays, some in-person relays, and we're gonna go for in-person record next time we meet up for full series any percent relay. So stay tuned for this. Anyway, back to the video. And then the school year rolled around, and yep, I got a lot of stuff to do. I had no time to even practice in September. Like, I didn't play this game at all in September, and it's also caused me to lose motivation and stuff. But then October rolled around. Like, Minichip, he was, I don't know, he was like, I was feeling endangered. Because he would just... Minichip would, like, hop into attempts without any warm-up for like 15 minutes and hit 4 5-9s out of 4 attempted. He would have like a 100% consistency with 5-9. I was like, how is that even possible when I was struggling to get out of 9 once? And the grip that I have been using like forever, like even for speedrunning, was move left and right with arrows with my right hand and jump with spacebar. Jump and double jump with spacebar with my left hand. This was impossible. This felt impossible for me. Like, Minichip would... This guy could get 4x like whenever he wanted, but he decided to stop at Breakjaws Bob, which Breakjaws completely wiped off his speedrun.com account. And the grip that Minichip was using was, he used A and D for left and right movement with his left hand, and he jumped with up arrow with his right hand. And I also tried this grip for a bit, and like, I could not really get out of 2 because where's the turnaround, and doing turnarounds with left hand really sucked for me. So I decided that it was not worth it to just relearn how to basically play the game. But then, like, everyone was telling me that just do not do frame perfects with your weaker hand. So I decided, so maybe I would just do the Minichip grip. I don't know why I called it that. It's not Minichip who came up with it. Like, up arrow plus A and D, only for 5-9 and 10, and use the old grip for everything else. And it definitely worked. Like, I'm still not back in practice. I still have a lot of stuff to do actually. But it definitely enhanced my consistency. I wouldn't say my consistency in practice at least is better than what it used to be with spacebar, but first of all, I haven't played this game in a long time. And second of all, like, I feel like I can do better. Yeah, and that brings us to today. So what are my plans for the future? I still have a lot of stuff to do, but it will free up eventually. Like, I think by the end of October, I would be able to return to V2. I want to do a meme attempt day, like, on day one after returning. Like, I think I'll do a warm-up, but no practice before that meme attempt grind. See that just where I'm at. I really hope I'd be able to do it in, like, still this month. I can't guarantee it, but I will try. And then, like, it would be funny if I flunked it that meme attempt day, but if I don't, then I will practice more, and actually do attempts at a later date when I'm more consistent. I really hope that this time, like, playing with hitting frame perfects with right hand will actually help me increase my consistency. Because, like, it was so disappointing. Like, when I played with spacebar, and it was after I switched to Windows XP compatibility mode, it was August. One day I was 1 in 4 with 5 from 9. The next day, like 1 in 4 in practice. The next day I hopped into attempts, ended up getting a 1 in 69. Like, I'm not joking, I literally counted that. This was really heartbreaking. Like, I could practice as much as I would want, and then, like, this would happen. Like, all of that would not matter at all. So I'm just hoping that this won't happen after this practice grind. So I want to get a 3-4x. And, like, not basically any 4x, but I want to get an actual world record, which Bob's Lombre, which, you know, it's not a 4x by much. So I can probably do it. And this will be, I'm saying this right now, this would be my last Volume 2 run ever, at least for any percent. Like, I'm not returning to Volume 2 ever after that. And what after that? Like, after that, I definitely want to write a monologue. Like, this video is long, but it doesn't even... It explains, like, maybe 15% of the story. This is a long story, and I want to write a monologue for it. But, like, I am saying all of this completely unscripted. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, like, my OX grind back in January, it sparked an explosion in activity in this game. Like, this game saw an activity never seen before. When I was grinding for OX and when I finished grinding for OX, this was actually incredible. Like, this game definitely deserved more activity, and it finally got one. Like, it finally got some more activity. It was possibly the most played game in early 2025 out of the entire Red Bull series. Okay, so back to my plans. I want this monologue. I definitely want to have some stuff finished out that, like, you know, is waiting for me since March, since I got hooked into playing this game again before finishing all that stuff. And when I return, like, it's possible that I will retire. I have a list of my goals, but there are some goals from which I will try. Like, I don't know if I'll have time to try them. I definitely want to speedrun this game, Lego City Forest Raceway. I kinda got hooked by it. So I want to play that one eventually. But, like, after it, this could be my retirement. I won't say if it will be, but it could be. And it's not because I have no more goals. I have a lot more goals. I just don't have the time to play this. I'll see probably, like, with a test grind, like maybe something like 2-4x for Volume 1. If I could live in a school year and still have some time for speedrunning. But if I don't, then, like, this would be my retirement. If I can't speedrun because of not having enough time to do it, then like, I'm retiring. But if I somehow still have time for it, then my goals would be probably to clean up my bad runs like pretty much all of my times in all of Red Bull except for Volume 2 and Volume 3 are bad times. Like here, I definitely can get a sub 3, especially since I'm so close. Red Bull 2 can definitely get a better run. I can definitely get at least a sub 830. I have a 917 right now. Red Bull 3, I guess I can get a 3x. The run is a 544. And yeah, Red Bull for Volume 1, I can get a 2-4x. My run right now is a 304. So yeah, these are my plans. I want to play LEGO City Forest Raceway after finishing up B2 fully, and then it could be my retirement, or I could just clean up my bad runs and see if I still can play anything. So if you got to the end of my rant, then shoutouts to you. Big congratulations from the bottom of my heart, because that was a long rant. And I will see you hopefully this month when I get back to B2. Thank you for watching, and I really mean thank you for watching if you got there.